Hi there, it's Karen here from Turquoise Treasures. Welcome back to my channel, and today I think this will probably be the last in my series, Scraps Your Days Are Numbered, because I can't think of anything else to do with them at the moment, and I'm getting towards the point where I really need to get rid of all these things. So I will show you how far we've got. Not very. I mean, for all the things that we've made so far, I still got an enormous pile of scraps here. So I really don't know how much further I'm going to dip into this, but I'll do what I can today, and we'll see if I have any bright ideas of what to do with the rest, or whether to just ditch them. Because the other thing is, when you keep working with the same scraps over and over, you start getting bored with them. Get bored with seeing the same bits of paper over and over again, don't you? Well, I do, a bit. So in a way, it'd be quite nice to start from scratch with some new stuff, some new scraps that I'll be building up as soon as I start on new projects in the new craft room. So let's see how we get on today. And today, I think, is what I'm going to do is make some, what do you call them? Snippet rolls. Mine went blank. So what I've got, I've just put out more scraps, but these are more of my book page and coffee dye paper scraps and things, and I've tried to put together some that are about the same width. So I've got I shall have a wider one with these. I should do a wide one, and then I've got a few narrower pieces, so I might make one with those, and then I've got a couple of that are somewhere in between. They're not as wide as that one, they're wider than that, so maybe it's like a medium-sized one, so it still make a decent length snippet roll, a snippet strip. So I might see how far I get trying to make those 3 separate ones. Whether there'll be a roll, I don't know at the end, because they might be too stiff. And I've got this funny little scrap which kind of is even smaller than the others, so I may not use that. That may have to go in the bin. But we'll see. We will see. I want to minimise the amount I'm throwing away. I must say, I don't really want to throw too much stuff away, but there comes a point when you just have to let it go. So I think what I'm going to do is what I did before, just grab a pile, because it's just too much to dig through otherwise, and put it in my lid. And I can still have a quick look if there's anything here, because I don't know quite what I'm going to use. I might sort of have some neutral pieces and then build up with colour. And then I do want at the end, I'd like to use up start to use up some of these little scraps. This is my little Nana Granda box that we had something in for Christmas a couple of years ago. I've got all these little scraps of lace, basically, lacy scraps, so they could be used to decorate the snippet rolls at the end, can't they? So I'll keep those handy as well. I just put them in that lid, put them up there. So let's just see how we go. I'm just going to telly remote. I'm not going to have my telly on, otherwise you won't hear what I'm saying, will you? So I'm just going to go for it, I think. I'm going to start with the wide one, and I might embellish with a few other little bits, you know, the odd butterfly bits and pieces that I've got floating around. Although I must admit I have a lot less floating around than I did. This room is beginning to get quite echoey. It's quite getting much emptier. So yeah, I keep thinking of things that I want to use, and oh no, I've packed those. So right, let's just get started, shall we? Let's just pull out a few bits. I think I would like to do something. Hang on, let's just start with this piece here. I'm going to do a little bit more neutral to start with, just to give us a base, although that's quite a neutral base anyway, and then kind of build up. I don't know, it's been ages since I've made one of these actually. I know I made one for my boho journal, but that was more to do with all the fabrics and all the pretties really. Not so much a paper one. I haven't made a paper one for a long time. I've forgotten really what to do. So I'm just kind of sticking bits down and see how it goes. So I'm still filming ahead, well ahead. I've got the family coming tomorrow. It's just coming up for 2 weeks, the second 2 weeks before the wedding, and possibly getting we think we're getting much closer to moving. So still don't have a date. It just goes on and on. We're still waiting for people to agree when it can happen. So we're having a kind of family lunch, because it's been the family home for the girls. So we thought it'd be nice to get the whole family together. Not too close to the wedding, because that'll leave one weekend before, one weekend in the middle before the wedding happens. And I know Hannah doesn't want to do anything the weekend before. A, she'll have lots of last minute things to do. And B, I think she wants to try and isolate a little bit, so she doesn't catch anything before her big day, which is perfectly understandable. So I'm going to dip from both sides, I think. Spot things that I would like to use. It's also random. I feel like all I talk about these days is either wedding or moving. There must be more to life sometimes, but it's what's consuming us at the moment. I don't know why this is ending up being kind of green, isn't it? Funny how you start grabbing for certain colours. A bit more. I'll move into another colour at some point. I was going to go neutral, and look, it's not stayed neutral at all, is it? Who knows where the fancy will take me. And I'll probably trim this up a bit at the sides afterwards. So I'm going to use another little piece of this. So we've got the family coming over tomorrow for lunch, so that will be so nice. We haven't had them all here for ages. Everybody's been so busy, and it will be really nice just to have them here. I'm sure Alyssa will wonder what on earth has happened to my craft room. She'll walk in here and say, "Where is everything, Nana? I want to play." But I'm sure she'll find something to play with. At the moment her room is full of boxes, so we're going to have to clear that out, otherwise we'll be in trouble. She can be very fierce, our little girl, when she wants to be. If she thinks we've made her room a mess, my goodness. I think there was an occasion where we'd left something in there that didn't belong. She was not impressed. Oh, I need to stick the next piece. Shall I do it that side, because then I can use that with the back, and then if it shows, it won't matter. So I need to just glue these two pieces together. I will probably put the sewing machine down the middle, or do a couple of rows of sewing afterwards. I'm going to try and make sure that's lined up straight. That's not very straight. Hang on. It's just... I actually overlap that at all. I have just about. I'm just going to put some more glue on here. That piece. Okay. find something pretty. I think I'm looking at this as perhaps, oh, I've got 2 pieces now, no wonder I couldn't tear it. Kind of the first layer maybe. And then I might add a few more colourful bits and some lace. Really don't know at the moment quite what I'm going to do. But actually I quite like the way it's going. So far, quite like it. Nope. Ooh, big blob. Okay. Tear that piece of white off, I don't want that piece. Where's my little bin gone? Oh, over there. Okay, stick this on. And I'm going to just put this little tiny piece on as well. I think it will be it will feel really weird throwing away the scraps that I don't use. I'm not going to like it. It feels wrong. And for goodness sake, nobody tell Gail, will you? She'll have a blue fit if she sees anybody throwing away a big pile of scraps. But it's just one of those things that needs to be done. Okay, so I've just done the first layer. So it's all fairly neutral. It's quite a nice long one, this one. I'm really liking how it's going. So it's all, as I say, fairly neutral. There's a bit of colour in there, but nothing too much, too glary. So what I think I'll do is, as you could see as I was going along, any bits of paper that I like, I was pulling out, because then I will do a few bits of extra colour and some little bits of pops of colour and pretty bits of paper here and there on the top. So not completely cover it all again, but this will just give me a base, and then I can just add a few more bits, and then after that we'll add some lace. So I think I'll finish this one, and then we'll see what time we've got to carry on and do another one, just because I'm really enjoying how this is going. So it's just difficult to work with now, it's so long. So I'm going to just turn it that way, I think, and just move along to the side. So I just wanted to pull out some really pretty pieces of paper, and so this is one of the pieces I think I'm working on for my paper bag journal. I just want to tear off that white edge. Sometimes I will just cut off, if it's a really big white edge, I will just cut it off. Try to tear it down so that it doesn't actually have too much of a too many straight edges. So I'm just going to pop that on because I like it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to see where it would best go. So I think it will go down with some of these warmer colours. I've tried to vary the background a little bit if it's got any kind of colour in it. So I think I'll pop that there. And I can't help myself but put her on there. So I think I'll put her maybe down here. Oops, keep getting big blobs of glue coming off. I think it's where it gets a bit warm, and then it just, I think we'll just put her there. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll put her like that, because the likelihood is I'll be using it in chunks like this, so maybe I should orientate it this way as well if there's anything that needs to be orientated. And I've got this really pretty rose here. Let's just tear around that a little bit. I'm going to pop that up this end, I think. Right. And I must put on some of this gorgeous Florentine paper here and there. I am really mixing up the colours, I know, which kind of feels strange for me because that's not something I do very much or I'm very comfortable with, but I'm going to try and mix them up a little bit, and then where it looks like it's a bit glary, I can tone it down then with a bit of lace, can't I? A little bit of red Why not? What else we got in here? It's a pretty piece. Could keep doing this forever. Let's have a little ferret in this box. See if I can find any other pretty things. I keep moving this thing around. I've had this for ages. But just doesn't really go on anything. Oh, I might use a piece of this though. This is quite fun. Down there. Now I'm going to have to take another piece of this off. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that for the moment as far as extra papers go. And now I just want to add, I'm going to use this again because I am going to sew it afterwards. So I'm just going to get rid of this piece as well. Right, so let's dip into my little box. I'm just going to push all these bits out of the way. So I should probably use some of those on the next snippet, which I will do a lot. I will put the whole of that on fast forward, otherwise we'll be here. Because these things using the scraps, they take a long time to do, but they're not very exciting to watch. So I should probably put most of this on fast forward. Get them done. So it reduces the boredom a little piece. Ooh, I've got this little piece of I can never remember the name of it. Baby wipe. You know, the one that's got the painted stuff that I quite like to use. It's been sprayed on or used to mop things up or something. Still got. Didn't know I had a bit knocking around in that box, so I'm going to use it. I love the colour. It's got to go there. I'll just trim it down a touch more, get rid of that white. Yeah. Lovely. What about this piece? I'm going to cut it in half and use a bit here. And I'm going to try and put another piece up the end here somewhere. And put a piece here. Good, like that. Now I've got this little scrap, and that'll go beautifully just here. I'm just going to trim off this little edge. Yep. And a bit of white. So finally, I want to add some finishing touches, some little focal points or little points of interest along here. So I've got various boxes of bits and pieces, some labels and some little bits of fussy cut ephemera digital pieces. These are all by Shabby Dabby Doodah. I've got a whole of butterflies, a whole pile of stuff. So I just thought we'd see if we can pick anything out to go on some of these. Just dot them along, just so that if I wanted to break them up into smaller pieces, there'd be a little focal point or something of interest on each piece. So I'm going to have a starting here because I do like this butterfly. It's just such a bright, it'll go quite nicely right there. I think if I'm going to be putting them on top of lace, I'm probably going to need to use my art glitter glue for this. So I hope it's going to cooperate. It doesn't look like I'm going to get to any other snippet rolls in this video, just because this one's taken me a while. But I will be making some more. I'm going to finish off the ones I've got out. Maybe I'll show you those at the end, and then we can see what we've got left in the way of scraps, and I will do the ceremonial throwing away, putting it all in the bin. So if anybody is of a nervous nature and find it too hard to watch, then consider yourselves warned. You can turn away at the crucial moment. Right. So I haven't packed my sewing machine yet, so I will do a couple of lines of sewing along here just to hold it all together. Butterfly. Now the other little pot I've got out is my pot of vintage people. What I call it, vintage people, so mostly ladies. But I have got these lovely little ones that Tina makes. And I've got some of I think the Artimaze ones are too big, I think. So I might pull out some of these smaller ones by Tina. There are a few very small Artimaze ones as well. It's actually a freebie, I think. Not sure where they all are. Some of them are in another pot. I think she had some little circular ones. Let's see. I'll just find one of these to put on, I think. That's a bit too big. She's right. So I think I'm just going to tear it down a little bit. And put that there, I think. She is rather lovely. I'll keep her out just in case. Ideally I'd tear around her, but I think I'll probably make a mess of her. She's gorgeous. I'm going to tear around her. See where would she go? Alright, put that there. You can see. Okay. What else do we have? We have some little birds, which are rather sweet. It's a case of whether the colour would go somewhere, and I think I see somewhere that it might go quite nicely. Just there, maybe. Yeah, I think I might put the bird just down there with those colours. Oh, there's another spot. See which one goes best. Spent ages fussy cutting all of these things, so it's quite nice to use them. There? No. I was going to put it there, wasn't I? Okay. That's gone on there. Any other fun things in here? This is a whole mixture of different kits that I've got of Tina's, some of her fussy cuts from a variety of kits. Bird cage, and there's a bit of white side. It's a pretty flower. Move this along. Can I put this flower somewhere? Maybe there. It's quite a mixture, but lots of fun to do. Highly recommend just sitting with some strips of paper and some scraps and just glue them on and make something that may end up quite pretty and usable. But if not, you've had fun doing it. I'm having fun. Whether I ever use any of these things again, I don't know. Right, we need to move along. Maybe have another something down the end here. She's too big. What else can I put on here? Oh, I've got this little box of circles. Some of them are chipboard and some of them are just card, just cut out cardstock, because I did a video gluing these onto things, didn't I? Onto chipboard pieces. She's rather sweet. Well, these were fun to make. I really like these. That would go nice there, wouldn't it? I'm going to put that one on there. I think I need something a bit stronger. These are quite a little bit on the heavy side, so I'm hoping they're not going to be a problem. Love this. I know I said I was going to sew on this. I've just realised I've made that very difficult for myself. But I might have to do a little bit of... I may just sew around some of these things. I don't know. Maybe just do a little bit of sewing here and there. Could be a challenge, won't it? Okay. And I'm just going to put maybe a couple of labels with some of these pieces. I fancy trying some of these black and white numbers. I've never used them. But I've seen other people use them and they look really effective. Oh. These are stamped labels that I did on some rice paper. And again, I've never used them. Look how perfect that colour goes. With that leaf. Loving that. What are we looking for? Small word. I did see a small word I thought would be good here. Where did I see it? I forget where I was looking now. On here. I saw friendship somewhere. Yes, I did. And I thought, as these are two ladies, we could put friendship down there. Not a colour I've ever used, really. Black, white labels, white on black. But whenever I've seen other people use it, I think, oh, that looks really good. So I thought I'm going to give it a try. And I'll do another one of these. Right, this is one of those projects that it's hard to actually stop. So I'm going to stop here because I need to, otherwise I could just keep going and keep going. And I'll fall asleep. This is probably turning into the longest video in the world, so I'm going to try and do some editing, speed things up, cut things out, try to make it a manageable size. But I'm not going to be able to do any more of the snippets, any more snippet rolls on camera, I don't think. So this is what I've got so far. I'll just run it through. You've seen it all really. If I see any gaps, I might still add things. I feel like it needs something here. What can I put here? Maybe another little label. Look in this label box. I've got this. I've got a teeny tiny label box. I've separated them out. Otherwise they get lost in the big box. Too big. About this one. Yep. Just put that one there, then I really will stop. Okay, I'm back. It's a few days later. I have edited the first part of the video already, so I realised that I was doing a lot of this towards the end, almost off camera or completely off camera. So I do apologise for that. So I thought before I show the other two strips, I will just show you this whole thing once again so you can see it properly. And I have sewn it. I've sewn either side of it. I've done some sort of wiggly sewing just because I had to go around some strange areas at one end, so I thought I'd just do wiggly sewing all the way. I may do one more row going down the middle. I can see some places that haven't been quite caught, so I think I might just do one more row down the middle, but I'll just show you how it looks anyway. So we'll just run through it. I really like it, the way it's turned out. It's really pretty. And lots of possibilities for cutting it up and putting it onto pockets and things at some point in the future. These were quite awkward to sew around. I hadn't really thought about that one until after I'd glued them on. But I did manage to sew just around the outside of this piece. So I think what I could do is start here and just go down the middle and just wiggle around all the bits and do another row down there. So that's this one. That's the one we did on camera, and then I wasn't sure what time I'd have to do any others on camera, so I've gone ahead and made the other couple. This was the thinner one, and I've orientated that sort of this way vertically rather than along, just because I thought as it was narrower, I might use it on the edge of pages rather than cutting it into smaller chunks or making it into clusters or something. But there's bits of it that could go that way. Depends how I cut it up. Not much of it is vertically orientated, but I did have these little birds. I think they probably came out of Daphne's diary, and so I put a few of those. They were all in my scrap box, and I had those, so I've dotted those all the way down. But that's pretty much, apart from the lace, I haven't decorated it as heavily as I did the other one, because then I've got the option to add more decoration when I actually use it. So and it's all fairly pastel-y colours on this one, and lots of bits of lace all the way down. So just quite a simple one. I hope you can see that with the little birds dotted here and there. But I think there's a possibility of adding a lot more bits and pieces when I come to using it. So I think that I'll leave that as it is. And then the final one, which is like the slightly medium-sized strips, I have literally just done the paper, done the scraps. I haven't added anything else. So I think I will just add some bits of pieces of lace, if I can find any more scraps that I want to use on here, and leave it like that, and then do more with it when I come to use it. So I'm just back in my little box of bits, and then I will just sew around like I've done with the others. So I'm just going to pop this piece here. Sometimes if I have some coloured lace, I try to match it up or tone it in with what's already there paper-wise. Just feel it will enhance it because the colours are similar. As I'm only using my glue stick to glue them down, I think sewing them on is probably a good idea. And I have loads of little tiny pieces. I think this is an ideal place to put little tiny bits. So, pop that there. So we did, it is now, I think I did the last one on, I don't know, Thursday or Friday, and it's now Tuesday. So we've had a busy weekend in between. We were visited by the family, and we had a really lovely day with them. And yeah, there were a few there's lots of reminiscing about family times in the house, because it had been our family home for a long time. And yeah, I know my oldest daughter was apparently going around the garden saying goodbye to the guinea pigs that were buried out there, which I'd completely forgotten about. She knew exactly where each, well, we had two. They had one each, and she knew where they were. So she went to say goodbye to them, which was rather sweet. I had totally forgotten that we'd had guinea pig, that the guinea pigs were buried out there. But yeah, I think it wasn't over emotional, but it is a big moment in a way, because it has been a wonderful family home, and this is that was probably their last time to be here. Well, I'm sure it was, unless there's any particular reason that they'll need to come again in the next few weeks, or 2 or 3 weeks, however long it takes. Yep. So yeah, it was a little bit. No, I can't really say it was emotional as such. It was just, it was just nice to have us all together and say goodbye to the old, the old family home. Or for them to say goodbye, not for us yet. Well, I wonder about this piece. I'm not sure whether that must have been cut off something. I'll just pop that. Should I pop that there? Why not? Why not? Been sitting there a long while. That's it. What's this? Don't think so. I seem to have got lots of bits with thick seams on, which I don't really want to use. That's too fiddly. Little piece of this. I love this. I love this colour. I'm sure I can find a place for that. Right there. Oops. So I hope I'm not going off camera again. Should be paranoid about that now. I think I must have had the camera angled a bit too far towards the back and didn't realise that you couldn't see really what I was doing. There we are. It's only a short piece really, so I don't need a lot on here. Let's see what else I can find. There's a lot of white. I haven't got so much of the other colours. I've got a little bit of that trim there. What else have I got under here? A piece of that. Might be enough. Don't need a lot on here. Put that there. And I'm going to put this all along the edge here. Should I have it going off the edge? Yes, I think I will. Just chop that piece off. Don't like that bit. That's it. And then I can add some other little embellishments as and when I use this. You've seen the sort of thing I might well do, but I don't really know yet where I'd use it, so I'm going to leave it, I think, just like that. I don't really like these pieces. I think I'm going to throw them away. I'm being more ruthless, I've decided. I've got to be more ruthless about my scraps. It's just getting silly and you don't use them all. And I keep putting pieces aside that I don't want to use, so why bother keeping them? That's what I say. Let's just keep the bits you like. Right, so that's enough for that. That was just a little bit of zhuzhing up for that little one. Well, it does need a bit down here. All right, have another quick look. One more little piece at the end. What else can I find? Right. It's a bit too white, really. Might do another time. What about a piece of this? Oops. Let's cut that off. Okay. This is my usual Yoo-hoo glue, it's just that for some reason the label came off. Okay. And I'm going to pop that right there. Oh, it's a little less full in here, so that's all good. And then I'll just do my bit of sewing, and that will be it. So there's that one, and that one, and this one. So yeah, small, medium and large lengthways, and small, medium and large widthways as well. Not necessarily the same ones. Okay, so thank you very much for joining me. I'm sorry, I'm just rambling here. I don't know what I'm talking about. Thank you for joining me for this rather weird video. I have realised I'm not quite ready to say goodbye to my scraps yet, even though I said I was going to. I have one more idea of something that I can do with them, so there may be one more video before I finally get rid of them. I have found something else that I might use my scraps on, so we'll see how that turns out in the next video. Okay, bye for now.